All right, so we have been multiplying binomials. Now what we're going to do is go the other direction. We're going to have a trinomial or a polynomial that we're going to create two binomials from. So you can factor polynomials. So you can factor these polynomials when the degree is 2. So we're looking for a quadratic. What you see below there is a quadratic. We're looking for a degree of 2. Next, we want to see that the number of terms is 3. So we have 1, 2, 3 terms. Last but not least, we want the coefficient of the first term to be 1. So here there would be a 1, and that's where we want that to be. Okay? All right, so here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is draw parentheses. And I mean, basically it's just like a skeleton. In this case, our variable is x, so we'll throw an x here and an x here. So we're setting it up. Okay? The next thing we're going to do is our x puzzle. So what I want to talk about here, and I'm going to kind of try to color code this a little bit, is the b goes into the addition spot. So this is your b. Hold on, let me try that again. The b is here. How about here? This is the b right here. And so that b value will go in the addition spot, which is down below. So this is the add. Now the c value, which is this one here, will go up top. And this is the multiply. And this will make sense here in just a second. Now we need to ask ourselves, what are our signs? So in our binomials, we're either going to have one of each, or both positive and both negative. So you can have positive, positive, negative, negative, or one of each. It doesn't matter, but these can be your set. Sorry, that's kind of messy, but you hopefully get the idea. So down here, we would put plus or positive, positive, because both of these signs are positive. Of course, we don't have values to work with, but we'll go from there. The next step is to solve the x puzzle, and I'll show you how to do that with the next example, and then we always check. Okay, so this is just the setup piece of things. After this, we're going to go ahead and jump in and solve. So let's get into this. According to our directions is we're going to set up our x puzzle. My parentheses, so here's our first example. We're going to start by drawing our parentheses and filling in our variables. So we have r and r. The next thing we're going to do, so the b value, which is here in the middle, is going to go down on the bottom, and it's a positive 4, I might add that. And then the c value, so remember this is ax squared plus bx plus c. Now of course this is an r, so there's a difference. C goes up top, so this would be plus 3. So now we need to talk about our signs. In this case we have plus b and plus c. So that means both of these binomials are going to be addition. All right. Now this is how we solve the x puzzle. We use factors. So what are my factors of 4? And this is, making a t-chart is fine. I'm sorry, not 4. Let me start that over. What are my factors of 3 that will give me a sum of 4? Because remember, this is addition, and this is multiplication. So I want to multiply to get 3, but add to get 4. So I only have factors of 1 and 3. So these factors get placed here. So this would be 1 and 3. I know it seems tricky, but it's okay. The more practice you get, the better you're going to get at it. Now we're actually going to go through and check our solution by multiplying using that FOIL technique or a box, whichever you prefer. So I have r squared plus 3r plus r plus 3. So when I combine my two middle terms, I have r squared plus 4r plus 3. It checks out. So that means our final answer is this pair of binomials. So I draw my X puzzle. All right, here's our next example. I'm going to go ahead and start by setting this guy up. So I have x, x. Now I'm going to set up my X puzzle. My product is a positive 6 while my sum is a negative 5. So because my product is positive and my sum is negative, that tells me that my signs of my binomials both need to be negative because I need a product that is positive. So now let's list our factors of 6. So I have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. We're looking for a sum of negative 5. So the values that I feel would work for this would be these two. And they'd both be negative. So it'd be a negative 2 and a negative 3. So when I put these guys into my expression, this is what I have. Now let's go ahead and check. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 would be negative 3x. Negative 2 times x would be negative 2x, and then plus 6. Again, combining my like terms, x squared minus 5x plus 6. That is the same thing, so then this solidifies my binomials. All right, let's set this one up. So I have x and x. My X puzzle. I have a positive 1 as my product and a sum of negative 2. So since my sum is negative, my product is positive. That means, again, I have the same signs. So now I'm going to go ahead and list my factors of 1 are 1 and 1, right? And we're looking at negative 1 and negative 1, so here we are. When I go to check this one's kind of simple here. So this would be x squared minus x plus 1. Combining my middle terms, x squared minus 2x plus 1 gives us what we need. So then this would be our pair of binomials. All right, let's try one more. All right, now setting things up. So I have x and x. My product is a negative 12, while my sum is a positive 1. So this is going to be a little different. So now my signs, my product is negative, which means the only set of signs I can have is positive and negative in order to get a negative product. So now let's list our factors of 12. We have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4, and we're done. Now I'm looking for a sum of 1, a positive 1, but remember, our signs are positive and negative. So what we have to consider is these signs right here will affect our product. So I see here that that is actually what I'm looking for. So it looks like we need a positive sum. So this would be a negative 3 and a positive 4. So I'm going to put my 4 here and my negative 3 here. Now let me check. So x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 12 combining my middle terms, so x squared plus x minus 12 gives us what we need. Now, let's say that, all right, so let me go to back. This works. So it's a plus 4 and a minus 3. Slide here. This is the exact same thing we just did. Now let's say that we make a mistake with our signs. And I go, okay, well, let me check what I got here. So I'm going to say that this is a negative 4 and this is a positive 3. So when I go to multiply, let's see what happens. X squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 12. So far it may look like it's going to work, but then when I check those middle terms, I end up with a negative x. So this does not work. Therefore, these do not work. So when